Hey everybody! Before we jump right into the action, I just wanted to let you know that these things are streamed on Twitch, and if you wanna hang out with me while I'm live, you can follow the channel. Will be the first link in the description. Okay, we're getting a game against E4. Gonna be trying out the Caro-Kann, and let's see what opponent has in mind. Expecting like a lot of pawn captures on D5, usually against lower rated players when they're going for these kind of moves, just kind of staying on d5, take everything that they can, and wow, f3, that is definitely not something to play. Okay, like problem with f3 move is that it's taking away the main square of the knight, and it's also weakening the king, so weakening this kind of diagonal. We can just keep developing in normal fashion. We see d3, could play d4, but no need to like rush with things there. Just keep developing. Could play e5 like anytime too. I just want to get some development. I think we could do e5 on the next move as well. And yeah, just trying to develop my pieces. Okay, that is actually like losing a piece here because of d4. The bishop and the knight are now in a pretty unfortunate position, and we just get to play a deadly fork, and with that we win a piece, and we're gonna be trying to trade all the pieces. We really need to come up with a name for this strategy when we're exchanging all the pieces. Someone should create a name for this. Yeah, for sure, somewhere Bane Feingold has been ranging, not ranging, but raging about us f3 move. That's for sure. I thought about that, but felt like better to explain why f3 is bad than to meme Ben Feingold. But that's always like solid choice too. So Queen d2 is preparing long castle. That is like pretty obvious. We just need to finish development. I think going for the fianchetto is like simplest here. Yeah. Getting castle next. Developing the bishop and using the rook onto the semi-open file. Plays knight e2. Just ignore it. Castle. Focus on development. Knight is protected. Can just stay back. See knight b5, hitting my queen. So against this, also queen b2 knight e4 is like a pretty funny idea, but it just doesn't work. We're gonna do queen b6, allowing the knight. Okay, we see d4. I think that's like a good try for him because it's at least it's like sort of restricting my bishop, but I think bishop f5 maybe nice idea. Also just bishop d7, attacking the knight, connecting the rooks, preparing rook c8. Yeah, just continue, place the rook on the open file, maybe now queen a5, could also do e6, knight d5. Nothing too exciting really happening, just maybe queen a5 and push the b pawn, just winning it slowly. Opponent doesn't really have any attack, we've got the extra piece, just need to keep pushing. making room for the b pawn. I don't think that was a good move because it's opening up bishop's path. As I said a bit earlier, it could definitely lead to some trouble. Actually, we'll have a funny motive. I'll go knight g4 with idea to play rook c3. Watch out for that, boys. I think that is gonna be pretty instructive. It's like a pretty common idea from like the Dragon Sicilian. And it's gonna be also quite deadly. Yeah, I think we can still go for it. Like, problem with knight e4 is he can take you with a knight. But I think that is better. And okay, it doesn't really have a big threat. Except rook c3 is coming. Okay, this is maybe not even that good, but I'm just trying to highlight the main theme. After pawn takes, we get to take with the bishop and force a checkmate or win the queen. This was working even better if his king was still sitting on c1, because some ideas like this. But okay, he's just ignoring my knight. I'm gonna take on c3 anyways, with a rook. Trying to highlight the power of the fianchettoed bishop now. Yeah, okay, he takes for a queen, but can just take, go for the fork afterwards. Hit the rooks. And he finds the resign button and we manage to get this one in. Okay, opponent going for e4. Gonna be going for the Caro-Kann and against knight f3. Well, usually when they play with this move order, either knight f3 or knight c3 on the second move, gonna end up being like the exchange. So taking against this check, honestly, if you wanna simplify it, you could play bishop d7, I think. That's like pretty easy. And then so it goes there in just exchange. I was thinking like what to recap with. I think both are playable. Personally, I used to take with a queen quite a lot, but I think I was about to do maybe like knight takes on d7. I think that's also doable. And after they take, you can just play the move a6 or knight c6. Yeah, let's just develop first. It's not like the knight is threatening anything yet. And then we can do a6 later on, develop knight f6, e6, bishop e7 or bishop d6. So yeah, you might be threatening bishop f4 in some lines, so let's just make sure we kick the knight away, force it back to c3, where it's gonna be a little bit misplaced, and gonna do e6, knight f6 next. And in case of bishop g5, I think first we do h6, and then depending on what he does, we either play bishop d6 or bishop e7. Because if he keeps the pin, I think could potentially, yeah, just okay. 95 threat because we're pinned everywhere, so need to castle. And okay, as I was saying, if he keeps the pin, I usually like to play when the bishop is on f8 to develop to e7. But now, okay, when we can, I typically like just going for the active square, and then this pin shouldn't really be that problematic. In fact, I think we can break it on the very next move. Something like queen c7 should be fine, and typically like the main plan would be to go for the minority attack in these positions, just like b5, b4, or get a knight around. But I'll just show you that I think you can simply allow them to take on f6 by playing, let's say, like queen c7. Bishop takes, pawn takes. I think that's definitely fine for us, because I don't really see what potential plan could white have after they take. Because then usually knight e5 is like the only plan for white in this structure. And okay, we can just continue with like, let's say rook ac8. I think that's a useful move for us. Still somewhat inviting him to take. We don't really mind that because it's improving our control over the center. Could also use the g file for the rook, so as long as he doesn't have a quick way to bring his pieces around. Okay, maybe now he has annoying move queen e3, because without the pawn on g3 we had bishop f4. I now forgot that there is no bishop f4. But even if he plays queen e3, I think we're okay after this, and when the queen comes over to h6, we can, at the very least, play like maybe bishop e7, maybe queen d8, and then just kick him out. Kicking h8 now? That would be what I would instantly pre-move, but now we can notice that, well, knight before knight c2 kind of wins. Pretty big. And I don't think we're gonna go greedy, because he can perhaps spin us. But maybe just taking with a queen, so that the queen can join the king side, and our position will be really, really safe. So, yeah, if I take rook c1, maybe it's a bit annoying. Just this. Need to win a pawn and just trade all the pieces basically from now on. If they trade on c2, then obviously take with a knight and collate the exchange. Yeah, gonna do that. If you would have been playing queen h6, there was, yeah, sorry, just wanted to show that. In case of that move, I wanted to go back and we were really safe. And after this, we get to win the exchange, play rook c2, or trade rooks. Have an extra rook. Ready to collect more pawns, and should be a pretty straightforward win. I hope this was somewhat instructive to like not actually mind them taking on f6, because I would have done it in this position, and then on queen e3 I had bishop f4. That was one of the nice ideas, I felt like. And okay, after g3, to be honest, I kind of forgot that he's controlling the f4 square. But worst case scenario, I could play knight d7 and then oops, I tried to move a piece. That was not very wise. So here, worst case scenario, I could do knight d7 and then b5. But I think rook c8 again is fine. And if he goes for like queen a3, there is this king h8 sequence that we probably would have gone for. And he just can't really bring any pieces next to my king. Like, thing is, the queen will not mate alone. So only the queen is not scary. If he can get the knight around, that can definitely be problematic, but without the knight getting involved, then this structure is generally, I would say, pretty safe. And yeah, if they don't take, say he wasn't taking, I would have probably just gone for like b5 followed by knight a5, knight c4. To be honest, I might have played knight d7 at some point if he really doesn't want to take, because it's pretty hard to come up with a plan and always kind of be worried about him taking. Like, sure, I think about bishop takes, I see it's not a problem, but I don't want to have that for the rest of the game, because maybe at some point I'll need my forces over the queen side, so then allowing him to weaken my king side might be a bit problematic. So when we start the queen side operations, I'm kind of committed there. I don't want to still allow him to take. I'm only allowing him to take now because we haven't yet started the minority attack, and we're still pretty flexible, and we could potentially switch to king h8, rook g8 kind of play on the king side. So I hope that makes some sense and kind of clarifies why I would have played knight d7 probably if he was still not taking. And okay, the rest was just kind of simple when we won the free rook and we managed to get the game in.
Hey everybody, thanks a lot for making it this far into the video. And if you're interested in checking out my London system course, will be the first link in description. So thanks again, and I'll see you around on the channel. Take care.